In this chapter, we look at how to find the upper and lower bounds when we're given a rounded figure.
If you bought a piece of wood that was advertised as being 200 centimetres long to the nearest 10 centimetres, the plank might be a little longer or shorter than 200 centimetres. But it could still be correct to describe it as being 200 centimetres to the nearest 10 centimetres. For instance, if it was 203 centimetres or 204 centimetres, the description would be correct. Both these figures round down to 200 when rounded to the nearest 10 centimetres.
If the actual length of the plank had been 205 centimetres, it would have been described as being 210 centimetres correct to the nearest 10 centimetres, so we know that the plank was not that long. However, if it had been 204.9 recurring centimetres, it would have been described as 200 centimetres to the nearest 10 centimetres. This means that the longest the plank could have been is 204.9 recurring centimetres. We say that the upper bound of the length of the plank is 205 centimetres because the actual length could be anything up to but not including this value.
If the plank had been 197 centimetres, it would have rounded to 200 centimetres. The same is true if it had been 195 centimetres. Any less than 195 centimetres, though, and the length would not have rounded to 200. We say that the lower bound of the length of the plank is 195 centimetres, because its length was greater than or equal to this length.
Let's have a go at finding the upper and lower bound for 2.37, measured correct to 2 decimal places. The lower bound is 2.365, because this is the smallest number that rounds to 2.37 when rounded to 2 decimal places. The upper bound is 2.375, because although 2.375 rounds up to 2.38, anything between 2.37 and 2.375 rounds to 2.37.
One more thing to cover is what you do if your calculator shows a recurring decimal and you're asked to round it. Say your calculator shows 0.6 recurring. On most calculators, that will show as 0.6 with a dot on the 6. If you're rounding to one decimal place, you must remember that the decimal you're dealing with is 0.666 and so on. This rounds to 0.7 when rounded to one decimal place.